and his recipes. And he's currently in studio. He is an ultimate Braai Master South Africa participant, an entrepreneur who operates a business called The Outdoor Kitchen. Today's topic, I like it. Hansi, eat like a queen. Food that empowers women's health. Chef Shingi, I like that you're updated. It's Women's Month. Movamati, let me focus on the queens.
This is true. I think it's so important for us to honor the women in our lives. And there's no better way of doing it than to show them how, to carry on a healthy and a fit life for the rest of their lives. So it should be Women Recognition Days for the rest of our days.
You need to stay for the tick, so.
Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah, so we're going to start with just, recognizing what it is that women need in their bodies to make sure that they're fueled right. And the first most important thing is an iron-based nutrition, or rather like an iron-rich in nutrition. Okay? And, especially like with ladies, because through the menstrual cycle and all of that, like ladies lose a lot of iron. And if you've ever felt like you've lost energy from like your toddler or your boss is draining your energy at work, yeah, this is something that's definitely going to help you to sort of, get your energy back. And, because iron actually helps transport oxygen around the body as well. So, you need to make sure that you have an iron-rich body so that you avoid brain fog and staring at the fridge for like 10 minutes. So shout,
You're having a young seizure there. Yeah.
So yeah, some of the foods that you want to sort of talk about are like leafy greens. You're talking about your spinach. You want to talk about beans, red meat, and some fortified cereals. And I want to share with you a recipe, right? That's so easy because some of these things, or rather all of these things, are so easily accessible in the supermarket. And you're talking about a recipe that is rich in iron here with some super spinach and some lentils. Guys, I love lentils. And like a lot of people actually don't know what lentils are, so I will clarify there. Lentils are like those little round like pea looking beans, right? And they're so delicious because you can have them in so many different ways. You can actually parboil the lentils, right, and then sort of fry them in a frying pan, add a little bit of just some lemon juice in there, squeeze a lemon juice, just sprinkle a little bit of some black pepper, and it becomes a snack. You can carry it anywhere. You can put it in your lunchbox. You can do all sorts of things with it. You can toss it all over a salad, and it works. But in this recipe today, okay, you're going to need 2 cups of baby spinach, okay, rich in iron, 1 cup of cooked lentils, and then half an avocado. You slice it because life is too short not to use avocado in salads. The way avo so zvakanoita kana kakaiswa musalad, so kanenge kakungoedha kama kadhati kaka, especially ukacheka uchiziva kaskillful kacho kekunyatsa kucheka nako. Hatidi kucheka zvimwe zvezvo zvekuti zvinoita kunge zvangonzi nje. No, we want to make sure.
Chef Shingi, there are 2 types of people on this planet. People who like avocados and people who don't like avocados. Yeah. Personally, I've got a problem with those that don't like.
I do too. I actually do too. And I know someone who actually doesn't like avocados who might actually be a very close friend. And I think that, that's one place where we have the least in common. But anyway, we carry on with the recipe. So you've sliced off your avocado, you've got 1 boiled egg, and you just want to drizzle a little bit of some tahini. Guys, tahini is something special, so like tahini dressing. And this is something that, brings back creativity to the table as a topic, because I think, in this day and age, we're in an era where we like to sort of have less processed foods, right? Or rather, when you are processing any of the foods that you can process, you now have the access to go to a person who does it while you wait. For example, like kanauchi unedoi rauda ugadzirwa unogonoenda nenzungu dzako tokangirwa pepe wakatarisa pepe dzaiswa mukaningirika kanogaisa chi nzungu dzitobuda dzakaita se dzakatoita sedoi fresh. Now tahini is gonna come from you having crushed or ground the seeds of a pumpkin, okay, or the seeds of sesame seeds. And come on, like you can only imagine the butter that comes out of there. You know, it's not peanut butter. It's not. It's a less sort of rich, but in taste, but rather rich in nutrients and sort of just a different flavor. You know that adds so much more to the stuff that we can do in the kitchen, and that's just because we're fancy guys. Saka toda kuti teka tahini lemon dressing kedu, and these ingredients, guys, are gonna make a ball. So this is like a super ball, right? A super ball that makes you toss everything up together like you're on a cooking show. These are now the instructions, by the way. Like you just have to toss everything up like you're on a cooking show, drizzle some of that dressing like you're signing a masterpiece with the artist pepe. Unogeta unofana ungoisa kafinesse kamukake kuti zvauri kuita pepe zvinenge zvichingouratidza wakadhat. So and then you eat and you just feel all that iron sort of soaking into your body through your veins like you are a superhero.
You're telling me to tap into my inner Chef Shingi, my inner Gordon Ramsay, my inner Jamie. Is that what you're telling me when I'm making this salad?
Exactly, and you must always feel like that when you're in the kitchen because that's the essence of why and how to better do food so that you can actually enjoy it in the process.
Lovely. Remember, we are currently live on our Facebook platform. If you'd like to see us and hear us at the same time, feel free to share your data with us. 0772162651. We're going for a quick song break, then we'll be right back. From one lover boy to another, his name is Chill Master.
Are you ready for it? I'm ready.
Rocking your radio anytime, all the time. Star FM, sounding good all the time.
Star FM sounding good all the time. Getting back right into your health with Chef Shingi because we cannot get enough. Chef Shingi is an ultimate Braai Master South Africa participant, entrepreneur who operates a business called the Outdoor Kitchen. We were speaking about eating like a queen, food that empowers women's health.
Exactly. And now we're talking about the second most important nutrient that I think women should embrace in their diets. And this is calcium. In fact, it's actually two of them, calcium and vitamin D. This is for an unbreakable woman because bones should be strong enough for you to dance in high heels, to chase your little ones around the house and carry the weight of the world because women are literally doing the most. I just want to give that acknowledgement out there kuti madzimai makanyanya zvinhu zvemunenge muchibalancisa soka sevarume. My mom always says to me like you guys are like men cannot multitask, and I'm like yeah but whatever. Like I think that the recognition should still go to women for the multiple tasks that they have to carry on through their days. And you know, after 30, like usually women start losing bone density, and you know, calcium is one of those nutrients that helps sort of slow that down. And you can get it from dairy products, obviously, some fish, nuts. And for that vitamin D, it's free, guys. Sunshine is vitamin D. It's free, and it keeps you standing tall like a goddess. So the recipe to this bone boosting life that you want to live as a woman has got a nice sort of fancy toast that you're going to make as an open sandwich. And again, these ingredients are so simple. Could you believe that sardines are so nutrition packed? And especially with calcium. And I think it's because look at that, my sardines pepega kana uchimaroa zvezva zvimabhonzo zvezvo hazvibviswe like masawaya unongomatswanya ungomaita se ungomaisa mukana wakadaro. And that's where I think most of the nutrient, or rather most of the calcium, comes from, because you know calcium is in bones, right?
Yeah.
So in fish bones, you can imagine in the case of sardines that you have it there. So what you're going to do is you're going to slice, just use one slice of whole grain bread because you're a responsible adult. So you're using whole grain bread, yes. And then that avocado comes in again. At this point, it's a bit of a personality trait.
You know what? Me again have avocado breakfast, lunch and supper. Angikhathali nge-avocado.
I can too. And the very fact that in Zimbabwe we have a lot of these organic avocados, akuna mishoma misha inedzi dzimba maavu muti wemuavu. So you know, we're not actually buying this fruit most of the time from, you know, like these factories that are producing or rather, storing ma-avo anenge achipfimbi kwaya asina kuibva. Isusu tine luxury muno muZimbabwe yekuti tinenge tine ma-avo anodonha ega ubva mumuti, guys, and anenge akatoibva kudhara kwete kuti munozosvika muchinopfimbika kumba. That's like such a beauty for the food lifestyle of an avocadoist, if that's a word.
We are making it a
in
word.
Zimbabwe. And yeah, so you smashed your avocado. You're gonna use just one sardine. So you opening a can, putting it in a lunchbox, and maybe picking one or two. Let's say two in this case, okay? And then you mash it up, and don't be scared to mash it up. Like, just put it into like a nice sort of palatable form of texture that can be put on top of your sandwich in such a creative way. And then you want to just squeeze a little bit of some lemon and some chili flakes for drama, guys. We live for the drama in the kitchen. And what you're going to do as instructions for this is that you're going to toast your bread, okay? Create a nice sort of crunchy base to golden perfection. Mash your avocado again with the confidence of a chef, guys, and then spread that sardine on top. And trust me, once you add that squeeze of lemon and those chili flakes on top as a sprinkle, guys, this is the glow up of fish sandwiches. If you thought that there was a tuna sandwich that could be better than this, you're wrong. This is the one, and this is gonna enrich the diet and nutrition plan for most women. And lastly, guys, hormone happy foods. Let's keep the mood in check. And there's nothing worse kana urikuita ka mood swing bebe ubongo nzine muna calm down. Hey, just calm down. No, like, you don't want to be told to just calm down. You want to make sure that you always keep your hormones in check. And one way you can do this, guys, is to make sure, ladies rather, is to make sure that you are always incorporating foods that are going to have a nice sort of balance for your stress hormones. And it's scientifically proven, I've said this before, that chocolate can actually fix your mood. It doesn't just mend broken hearts. It actually
Definitely.
helps to fix your mood. So we're gonna make a nice smoothie, and we're gonna call this the Omega Bliss smoothie, because omega 3s are also gonna help to sort of balance that hormone level and regulate your mood and your energy levels as well. And in this smoothie recipe, you're going to need 1 cup of milk. So if you want to be fancy or trendy, you can use that fancy sort of non-dairy milk, almond milk. It's also a little bit more tasty than all the other dairy alternatives, I think, personally. And then you're going to have 1 banana. Bananas are packed with potassium, guys, and potassium equals energy, and energy helps always to sort of rejuvenate yourselves from that drained energy that you've lost in your stress, through your stress or just unbalanced hormones, right? And then you're gonna have some flax seeds, because these really contribute a lot to your brain health, and just 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder. And that's happiness in powder form there. Cocoa powder, you just blend all these ingredients up, and then you sip nice and slow and just enjoy your hormone levels come back to a sort of regulated balance. And yeah, you are as happy as you glow.
Thank you so much, Chef Shingi. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, even though I still want like 3 more recipes. Next week is still another week, right?
Yeah, and we're going to carry it on next week.
All right. Can you please drop your social media handles and where people can get in touch with you real quick?
Okay, so